Good morning, Nevada. This is Tina Drago and Jim Godwin with Healthy Nevada, coming to you live from the Beasley Broadcast Studios. How are you doing today, Jim?
I am doing lovely. And yourself, Tina?
Oh, fabulous. It is really gorgeous down here in Las Vegas. How's it up there?
It is beautiful up as here as well. We're getting a little bit of a warm weather, almost up in the 80s, and then it's going to drop down to the 60s next week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I still have not taken down my swamp cooler.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got to do it before October. Anytime past October, it's just irresponsible.
I just turn off the air and open the windows. That's my fall.
Oh, are you fancy with your air conditioner? Good for you.
You know what I did? I signed up for the NV Energy smart thermostats that you can, that they can actually turn your air conditioning down or your heat down or up, depending on what time of year it is, to save during peak hours. And I'm that person that always has my house in the summer, set at high, like 78 in the summer, and in the winter it's 68.
Wow.
So I'm like, yeah, you're either freezing or sweating in my house. I don't like using air conditioning and heating. So I'm like, sure, bring in those smart thermometers. Let's see what we can do here. These thermostats that are going to save all kinds of money. So
wow. So you're a weirdo, is what you're saying on
I am a
AM
weirdo.
Radio.
Yeah, I've said it for everybody to hear. If it's under 100 degrees, the air conditioning goes off in my house. My kids hate it, but they'll live. Okay, they can move on. It's their choice. So let's talk about something more scandalous than my heating and air conditioning. Let's talk about what Congress did this last few weeks. Congress, they scheduled an end to insurance coverage for Medicare Part B deductibles. And you're probably wondering, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Tina, I am not wondering that because I am an expert in all aspects of the healthcare field. Mm-hmm. But for the sake of listeners, I'm going to pretend like I don't have a vast and extensive knowledge of health insurance and Medicare and Medicaid and let you explain it to me.
So here's my disclaimer coming right out of the gate. Anybody who open enrollment starts soon for Medicare, and anybody who is looking to change their Medicare policy or find out more information on it should absolutely be talking to a licensed insurance agent. So that's my first disclaimer. And my second disclaimer is that this is a super complex program. Medicare is ridiculously complex. It's like the IRS system. It's needlessly complex. So I'm going to probably not get into too much minutia of details because honestly, I don't think I know enough to be that detail oriented, but I do know enough to give you the highlights. And the highlights, and the highlights are right now that Medicare beneficiaries, they often buy Medigap insurance, and that pays for many of the regular Medicare deductibles and co-payments. That would be your supplement. But as a result of the new legislation that just passed by Congress, quietly, without anybody recognizing it because of all these political campaigns beating each other up, starting in 2020, Medigap plans will no longer be allowed to offer coverage of the Medicare Part B deductible. Now, it's not a lot. It's $166. However, current Medigap policyholders and those buying these policies before 2020 will still be eligible for the deductible coverage after that date. So there is a grandfather clause in there. So if you're getting close, you're there. But if you're not 65 by the time 2020 hits, this will not be an option for you. The change, and here's what it gets me. I mean, I'm going to get really passionate about this. The change is an effort to help pay for the so-called doc fix legislation that overhauls the way Medicare pays doctors, and that it's expected to cost $200 billion over the next 10 years. Medicare Part B covers doctor visits and other outpatient care, primary care. I mean, really, what everybody should be doing on a regular basis, that maintenance care. And currently, Medigap plans C and F offer coverage for Part B deductible. So how do you like that alphabet soup going on there? The reason behind making this Medicare beneficiaries pay the deductible themselves is that it'll cause them to think twice before going to a doctor or perhaps costing the Medicare system unnecessary money. Well, here's a little FYI out there. Going to a primary care doctor is peanuts. That office visit is nothing compared to going to the hospital for an emergency room visit because you didn't maintain your health, because you didn't go to your regular scheduled doctor visits. I mean, this is, to me, very short-minded. Very short-minded. I'm not happy with this legislation.
Coming from the government and politicians? What?
I know.
I find that hard to believe that it's short-minded.
It blows me away because here we are. We have our fragile elderly people. We have elderly people. I mean, let's face it. As you get older, your health declines. This is when you should be going to see a doctor more often. This is when you should have quarterly, semi-annual, annual doctor visits, depending on your level of health. This is when people have comorbidities like hypertension and chronic their arteries are having issues, and they have diabetes, and they have weight issues, and they're not exercising as much. This is when people absolutely need to go to their primary care doctor.
So can we backtrack just a smidge? Can you explain what the Medigap is?
Medigap is, hang on a second, I am going to read it because it's true. It plugs the holes in Medicare. With all the deductibles, co-payments, and coverage exclusions, Medicare pays for only about half the medical costs of American senior citizens. Much of the balance not covered by Medicare can be covered by purchasing a Medigap insurance policy or a supplement. I think that you'd know it as a supplement policy. Okay, they call it Medigap in here. So insurance companies may sell only Medigap policies that fall into one of 10 standard benefit packages. There's 10 packages. This is one of these things. Why do we need 10 Medigap packages? There should be 1 or 2, maybe 3 if you want to get crazy. But 10? And they range from basic coverage of the most comprehensive to the most comprehensive coverages. The 10 available Medigap policy packages are identified by letters. So if you see an A, B, C, this is Medicare coverage A, B, C, D, F, G, K, L, M, N. Plans E, H, and I, and J are no longer even sold. So, I love these acronyms they all get into. But if you already have it, you get to keep it. But if you don't have it, you don't. And so each package offers a different combination of benefits, allowing purchasers to choose the combination that's right for them. However, each plan package is the same across all insurance companies. So like a Plan C package for one insurance will be identical to another Plan C package offered by another insurance company. So the more Medigap coverage you purchase, the more you will have to pay in premiums. All Medicare or all Medigap policies must provide at least one of the following core benefits. Co-insurance for 60 to 90 days of a hospital stay, co-insurance for 91 to 150 days of a hospital stay, and all hospital-approved costs from day 151 to 365. So you're going to see these on your policies. You're going to say, oh, well, this will cover like long-term illness, short-term illness, home health stays, the skilled nursing facility stays, things like that. But it also is stopping you from going to your primary care doctor. It's also making you pay more for that. And it's crazy when we're talking right now about our senior population being larger than it's ever been in current history, and now we're not giving them the benefits, the insurance coverage that they would need. It just blows me away. Now, I'm going to say something really morbid right now, but the ideal senior is healthy up until the last year of their life. So like actuaries in the insurance companies all want all of us to be healthy, vibrant people and then decline very quickly. Like the last year of our life should be it. And that's when they've put into the cost for a hospital stay and the cost for skilled nursing facilities and extended care and nursing homes and all this stuff. They want that to be less than a year. And then they are at their peak bottom line beneficial model for an insurance company. So this plan right here actually goes contra to what the insurance companies and actuaries would be the best policy, because it's not allowing us to stay healthy longer. It's mitigating that. It's saying think twice before you go to your primary care doctor. And
so this is just kind of giving the shaft to people to increase profits. Is that what we're looking at? Is that why
this
something like this would get passed?
This is not
save money and...
this isn't the insurance companies, believe it or not, looking for profit. This is the federal government. This is Medicare not wanting to pay out the bills for people to go stay healthy.
Yeah, so it turned to just be about money, really.
It's always about money.
Yeah.
So this change prompts beneficiaries to forego needed medical care. They may simply require more expensive care later if that's the case, costing Medicare more in the end. So this is about Medicare trying to save money, not the insurance companies. And this is and their front line of trying to save money is to say, don't go to your primary care doctor on a regular basis to stay healthy. Don't have your diabetes under control and your hypertension. You don't need to see a doctor for that.
Which contradicts everything we are told to do.
Exactly.
With preventative health care, which is the logical and intelligent thing to do.
And they slid it in.
Health.
They slid it in during an election year when all eyes were focused on the candidates, and Congress went in there and they dabbled around. So I'm going to tell you people out there, contact your Congress and Senate, because this is the type of stuff, that wasn't made clear. This wasn't out in the news. This wasn't discussed. This was just done. And, okay, so here's my politically incorrect statement. The president's just a figurehead. I mean, truthfully, it's your Congress and Senate that are making all the rules and laws. Pay attention to your Congress and your Senate. Presidents can only do so much. It's Congress and Senate that are ruling the world. Presidents have a two-term election. Senators can be in there for 40, 50 years, and they have.
Mm-hmm. And behind that is big corporations.
Exactly. So then you get the lobbying arms buddying up with these long-term politicians, and making sweetheart deals. So pay closer attention to who you're electing for Senate and Congress, and take away the heat from the political. I mean, if you guys want to be, hot about the presidential election, that's cool, but be equally as passionate about your Senate and your Congress.
So. I second everything Tina and Jay just said.
And that's my rant. So I'm just like, this is just, it blows me away. I was discussing with a doctor yesterday about this, who's 62 years old and is on his way, and we're just like blown away by the thought process that goes on behind this. So with that being said, I mean, really how things are changing, with this being said, in the next few weeks, open enrollment for Medicare is coming out. Really pay attention to that. Ask really hard questions. Look at your family history. I'm not a diabetic, but I have a history of diabetic in my family. I want to know how they're going to take care of diabetic patients when I get older. I might not be this dynamic and healthy in 20 years. So, you want to think about these things. Look at your family genetics. Look at your personal, ways of life. Be honest with yourself. And ask the tough questions for Medicare. Because once you start choosing a Medicare company or an MCO, at that time that they've kind of got you. They get you for at least a year at a time.
And what does MCO stand for?
Managed care organization. So that would be, in Nevada, we have Senior Dimension, CareMore, Humana. There's some Aetna HMOs, Blue Cross Blue Shield HMOs, things like that. Those places, they get so much money. And I'm not even going to give you accurate numbers, but let's say they get $100 from the insurance company to manage your life as a Medicare patient. And of that $100, they get to keep as much as they can make sure you don't spend. Okay? So let's say you are a healthy person and you spend $20 a month on average on your health care. And that includes, they have all different levels, but that would include your prescriptions and your office visits and doctor and hospital visits and stuff like that. And so if you only spend $20, they want a lot of patients like you. They make big money. And then there's patients that spend $110 a month. So they're a losing proposition, so they add them into the pool. But their goal is to have a big enough group of people, and I think 10,000 I was talking to an actuary. Like 10,000 is the break even. Anything above 10,000 is makes their costs go down, but below 10,000, their costs are higher. So they want about 10,000 patients per insurance policy. That's like their sweet spot. So when you look at that, you think about, well, what kind of patient am I? And how hard are they going to fight for me? And how many more benefits are they going to give me? And negotiate your package. Everything in life is negotiable, people. Negotiate what you need and what you want, what's best for you and your family. And don't settle. When they hand you like a package that's just, cut and dry, what do you call it, cookie cutter? A cookie cutter package? Challenge it. Tell them you want different things. Make it custom for you. You're paying for this. This is your life. Don't settle. Don't settle, don't settle, don't settle. Do what's best. And challenge them. And hey, Jim, do you have that 800 number where people can call if they have questions?
Yes, it's actually an 855 number. It's 1-855-768-5465. That's 1-855-768-5465. And that's the Nevada Health Link call center that we at the NVPCA staff with certified enrollment facilitators. And they can answer any of your questions about insurance and the upcoming open enrollment, which we'll learn about more next week. And they can help you out and point you in the right direction as far as your Medicaid and Medicare is concerned as well.
They have to go on. Keep going.
Oh, they have to study and pass a test and a whole certification process. So they really know all the ins and outs and the minutia and the little details that can get confusing. They have a nice grasp on. So I recommend calling that number if you have any questions.
And, this is the time. Don't settle. I know that last year I was helping people. It was the first time I really dug into Medicare and understanding straight Medicare, what they cover, what the supplements cover, what the managed care organizations cover, and what's best for everybody. And this legislation is actually pushing everybody to a managed care program. And it's pushing them away from straight Medicare. And I have to be honest, as a provider, straight Medicare offers patients the most options. Supplements offer patients good options, but they're very expensive. And MCOs offer patients the least amount of options, but it's cost effective and they can manage it. When they say managed care organization, they're managing your care. They're managing your life. They're telling you what's best for you. So depending on your lifestyle and your choices and your income level and how often you travel and what goes on with you, MCOs may be phenomenal. That may be the best bang for your buck. Supplements may also be good. But the best is the straight Medicare. And they're walking away from it. They're saying that, no, they're going to get rid of it. And people should be wary. They really should. So, do you have anything to say about my rant?
I'd just like to say you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going, nothing gets me more. Where's my soapbox? I am on my soapbox right now. I am standing up there.
Underneath your feet.
I am shaking my fist at the government and saying this is wrong for health care. Never take away a person's option to be able to go see a primary care provider. Because what ends up happening, and I see it every day at First Person, what ends up happening is the patients don't come in, and they don't come in on their regular visits, and they're not compliant, and they're out of control in one or various ways. Maybe it's their cholesterol, maybe it's their diabetes, maybe it's their hypertension, maybe it's their weight, their exercise, and they're out of control because they don't have that checkpoint. There's very few people in this world, and I'm included in them, that if I don't have somebody looking at me that I have to be accountable for, I may eat that extra Snickers, king size, or, I may not do that exercise today or something like that. Part of going to the doctor is that, hey, I have to face the music, and I have to go in there and find out what my blood results are and my lab results and my weight, and it gives people pause. It gives people an opportunity to go, okay, I'm doing really well, or I need to get back on track, because we're all human in that way. I know, Jim, you're exceptional. with riding your bike and all that stuff, but but that is so not me.
I never do anything like eat a bunch of pumpkin spice cheesecake Twinkies limited edition flavor at all. Never do that.
Oh my gosh.
I did not do that this weekend at all. It was not an impulse purchase.
Oh.
And did not get consumed in 2 days.
We have true confessions here. True confessions.
No, I said that stuff didn't happen.
Did not happen.
No, did not happen. I have no recollection of it happening.
So I don't, I'm here beating a dead horse, and I'm on a roll, so I might as well just go for it. But honestly, everybody, this insurance program, it's gotten much more complicated than necessary. Please call an informed insurance agent. I would honestly recommend calling independent agents. What do you think, Jim? Because independent,
I agree, and that's why I recommend calling in the HealthLink call center.
I mean, the agents that sell for the insurance companies are great, and I'm not going to take away from them, but they have an agenda. Their agenda is to sell their insurance. If you really want to know what's best for you, go talk to an independent. Even if you have an insurance agent that's with one of the big guys, I would still talk to an independent to get their insight. That's their job, is to know everybody's insurance lines and then be able to help you with what's best. And then give that number again, because I didn't write it down the first 2 times.
It is 1-855-768-5465. And those certified enrollment facilitators or assisters, they have access to all insurance plans, so it's totally unbiased, and they're just trying to get the best insurance for you and your budget.
Yeah, and I think that's important for people to know. That, and please ask, don't settle, because nothing is worse than when you leave the doctor's office and they have to explain to you what 80-20 is. Right, Jim?
Yes, that is correct. that is an explanation that really is quite eye-opening and wallet-opening and draining.
So just so you guys know, Medicare only pays 80%. The other 20% is covered by you, whether you know it or not. And so deterring you from going to see primary care that's going to be the least of your costs, and having you think twice about going in and spending $100 on a primary care visit versus going in and spending $1,500 on an emergency room visit, should give you pause. And you really should have in your budget. I know everybody I haven't even a budget, but you should have in your budget health care. And you should have it in your rainy day fund. And there's nothing wrong with saving money either, guys. Because we're getting older.
Saving money is always a good point.
So Jim, as we wrap up this craziness, and I felt like I ran away with the radio show, and you were really kind to just sit there and let me run.
No, I feel like you nailed it. I have nothing more to add. I really feel like you nailed it. I'm proud of you. Yeah.
Thanks. Do you have any pearls of wisdom? Any resources that the Nevada PCA is hiding on us?
Just that phone number. I really genuinely, you did such a good job. I have nothing to add, really.
So next week, we're going to have Brandy from the Nevada Primary Care Association talk to us about the differences in Medicare and open enrollment and what people should be looking for and asking, right? She doesn't know.
That is correct, and she helps. She runs the call center, which is the number I just gave you.
What was that number again?
Wow, that was a hard sentence to get out.
I know.
It was 1-855-768-5465 for the NV Health Link Call Center. That's 1-855-768-5465. Call now and get your insurance questions answered.
Sounds good. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Stay healthy, Nevada.